This
Around
conference will
things like
now
data
be
engineering
recorded.
technologies. And I come up with a different experience like I worked on Snowflake, Teradata, Redshift, Postgres, and Airflow, and even I'm familiar with Python. Okay, so all the data engineering technologies like I was working since last 10 years. Okay, so this course is generally is for a data engineering. I mean, if you're aiming for data engineer, so generally this course is for those people. Actually, nowadays like people are expecting multiple skill sets. Okay, so in the current market people are expecting multiple skill sets here. Not only like it is not only Snowflake training, so it also includes multiple other tools here. Okay, so what I'm going to cover as part of this course is like let's say if you're not from the database background, uh, generally we need to know SQL. Actually for a data engineer, SQL is the mandatory thing that you need to learn, right? So so people who are not from the database background, to make you comfort, I had done some 8 hours of recording sessions on the SQL basics, so I'll share that with you. So if you want to go through, you can go through them and you can come up with some questions if you're not from the database background. Okay, so apart from that, we are going to cover uh, the 80% of the sessions will be on Snowflake. Okay, so in this Snowflake, we will be covering how to ingest the data from different sources into Snowflake and how to build a data pipeline and what are the key features of Snowflake, right? So we are going to discuss the 80% of our sessions will be on the Snowflake here. And I'm going to use a cloud called AWS, okay, Amazon Web Services. If you are not aware of, so AWS is Amazon Web Services. It's a cloud, so on which the Snowflake is running. Okay, so we need to know some basics of cloud actually, right? So those basics of clouds and how to integrate AWS with Snowflake. So those things I am going to cover here, right? And nowadays, if you see in the job description, people are asking for Python basic programming. Okay, so you need not be an expert in it, but you should be knowing some basic programming. Okay, so to do some data validation stuff or to build some automation use cases, you need to know basic Python programming. So I'm going to teach basic Python programming, and also I'm going to teach you how you can interact with Snowflake from Python, how you can interact with AWS from Python. Okay, so this is another part that I'm going to teach, and also one more tool called Matillion. Okay, so Matillion is an ETL tool. So if you see in the market, there are multiple ETL tools like Informatica, Talent, right? DBT, right? So you have Fivetran, lot of tools that are there with the that are used with the Snowflake. Okay, but Matillion is like in demand now. So Matillion plus Snowflake combination is working really good out in the outside market. So I have chosen Matillion ETL tool. So how we can integrate Matillion with Snowflake and design the jobs. Okay, and at the end, I will give you a brief introduction, like a 1 hour session on an Airflow scheduling tool. So some people are asking Airflow scheduling also. So that is the reason. Just I have given the introduction a part of the Airflow, like how you schedule a simple job in Snowflake using Airflow. So if you see this course content, our main focus will be on Snowflake. Like 80% of the sessions will be on Snowflake, and all others like AWS, Python, Matillion, and Airflow, I will be giving like 3 to 4 hours of session for each thing, and then you will be familiar with this. So once completing this course, you can market your resume as a data engineer with these all technologies. Okay. So generally in the market, if you put only Snowflake developer and you know only Snowflake, that is not enough generally. So now the trend has changed. People are expecting multiple things. Okay. So that is the reason I have designed this course like from initial days onwards. I have designed this course like this. So Snowflake plus AWS plus Python, Matillion, and Airflow here. Okay, so these are the things I'm going to cover as part of this course, right? And also I will upload one PDF, so where I'm going to cover in detail things. Okay, so in Snowflake, what I'm going to cover the introduction part, Snowflake administration part, right? And how to build the data ingestion process, how to build the data pipelines, what are the Snowflake special features, and then we'll see Matillion ELT tool integration with Snowflake. So all these things are the detailed things like what I'm going to cover in Python, right? And what I'm going to cover in AWS, and finally the Airflow thing. Okay, so this is the course content, guys, and it will take around 35 to 40 hours of sessions, like daily 1 hour. If I take, so it will take around 1.5 months here. Okay, so clear, guys, on the course content or any questions you have?
Will you be teaching
Any questions?
tasks and streams in Snowflake?
Okay, cool. So this is the course content, guys. So let us understand. I was saying you can market your resume as a data engineer. So let us understand what does this data engineer do, right? So what does this data engineer do, and why Snowflake is coming into picture in between? Okay. So Snowflake, when it comes to Snowflake, it's a cloud data warehouse, guys. Okay, it's a cloud data warehouse. So if you see, it's a data warehouse actually. Generally, there are multiple data warehouses in the market like Snowflake, Redshift, okay, Snowflake, Redshift, and Teradata, SAP HANA, Azure Synapse, multiple things are there. But basically, what is a data warehouse? Let us try to understand. Okay, so I'll give you a diagram here. So what is a data warehouse? So Snowflake is a data warehouse actually. So why we need a data warehouse, right? So does anyone know what is it? What is the application of data warehouse? Why we use data warehouse?
To do analysis, reporting, business can make decisions on that.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, let me tell you. I will take the example of Amazon. Okay, so you will be ordering some items in Amazon, right? So once you order the items in Amazon, you'll be getting some recommendations like before ordering, maybe before the checkout, yeah, buy this product and this product together, you'll get this much discount, right? So you'll be getting some recommendations and all other stuff, right? So how they are doing that? So to do that, they need lot of historical data of the customers. Okay, so lot of historical data of the customers, how you'll get it, right? So where you'll store it, so where you store it and where you'll process. So that is why to store that lot of historical data, like let's last 5 and 10 years of data of the customer buying things. So we'll be using a data warehouse here. Okay,
Vinod, if you
so
don't
I'm
mind.
making big here.
Vinod,
It's a
sorry to
data
interrupt
warehouse,
you. Hello,
and
Vinod.
let us take this
Hello.
as Snowflake.
Vinod, sorry to.
So the name itself says it's a warehouse. So generally, what is a warehouse? You'll store a lot of things, right? It's a big thing that you store some things there. So Snowflake is a data warehouse. Okay.
Yeah,
Snowflake is a
Vinod
data
sir,
warehouse.
just
So where
interrupt.
you'll store a lot of historical data, right? So generally, how you'll get this historical data? So first, when you order some product or when you okay, so when you order some product from Amazon, there is some one second, please. Yeah, anyone have any questions? Please unmute and ask yourself. Okay. You can ask any question. So what is Snowflake where we are using really this tool? Yeah, so that's what I'm telling here. So I'm taking the example of Amazon thing, right? So when you're Amazon e-commerce website, generally Snowflake is a data warehouse where you will use that for analytics purpose actually, right? So you will do some record, I mean, you will do some reporting, right? So using that Power BI, Tableau, there are some visualization tools. Like let's say I have a company and I want to see how my sales are happening over the time, right? So that is what can be done by your data warehouse. So one is for visualizing your data. Let's say I want to know, I am selling a particular product. Let's say I'm selling a car, and I want to know how my car sales, a particular car sales in a particular quarter in particular region. So I want to see in the report, in maybe in the bar chart or pie chart, how the sales are increasing, how the sales are decreasing, right? So that visualization thing I want to see. So that is one aspect of data warehouse application. The other aspect is, I am saying, you might be hearing the word called data scientist, right? So what does this data scientist will do? They will apply some algorithms on your historical data and they'll recommend something. So that's what I'm saying. When you buy a product in Amazon, they will also ask you to buy another product, so according to your selection and according to your buying pattern. So how they are doing that? So they are applying some algorithms on our Snowflake, on our data which is stored in Snowflake, and they are improving their business, right? So in the real time, our data warehouse, so because you asked this question, this Snowflake data warehouse or any data warehouse application is, two people will use the data. Okay, one is visualization engineer who will pictorially represent your data, like they'll be showing the bar charts, pie charts to the high level management. Okay. Another guy is the data scientist who will be applying algorithms on this historical data and recommending your systems, like recommending something here, recommendations, predictions. Let's say I want to know how my sales will be in the next month. I want to predict that, right? So this data scientist will do that. How they do? So they will apply some algorithms on this particular historical data here. Okay, so these are the two applications of your data warehouse generally. Okay, any other questions, guys? You can unmute and ask, not a problem. It's up to
Can you
me in
hear
the
me?
chat. It will be more comfortable.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Hello?
Any other questions, guys?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay.
But I don't
Who is
think
talking, but I'm not able to hear them.
Am I audible?
yeah, we can hear you.
You ladies are audible, but I don't think the trainer can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, just give a minute. Can message me in
anyone
chat box?
able to hear others?
Any
I'm
question
not
can
able to
message in
hear
chat
anyone
box.
actually. Can
Prakash,
anyone speak?
that is very difficult to put all the message only because trainer will audible so that we can raise a concern. If you have any
Yeah,
clarity.
Hello?
yeah. Yeah, Vinod sir.
I'm not hearing anyone. Just give me a minute. I'll. Yes. We are going to teach. We are going to teach task and streams also here. See, in this particular course content, in the data pipeline process, I'm going to teach some real-time use cases there. So you'll be using Snowflake tasks, Snowflake stored procedures, streams for change data capture. Okay. And yeah, I think let me reconnect my audio, guys. Something is happening. Yeah. So now I think I can hear you people. Can you speak? Anyone?
Yeah, hello sir.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
able to hear
Vinod
you
sir.
now.
Yeah, please. Yeah, everybody is speaking. Everybody some have questions. So
Sorry,
please.
guys. I have some
Go ahead.
audio problem. Yeah. Now
We know this is Shashank here. Clarification.
yes.
Actually, I would like to know because I'm new to that Snowflake. I don't know what is exactly. I want to know what is Snowflake. Snowflake is a reporting tool, is a data warehouse tool. So that is what just I want to get a clarification where we are, because you have given the couple of other tools as well. Because what is the advantage of this tool? That is I want to basic things only.
Got it. Yeah. So basically, Snowflake is a data warehouse. It's not a ETL tool. Okay.
It's not.
Snowflake is a data warehouse.
And it is not reporting tool also, you mean?
It's not a reporting tool. Yes.
So it's a data warehouse tool. Okay.
It's a data warehouse tool. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So as a data engineer, generally,
It's a cloud data warehouse, right? You are telling that warehouse.
yes, I am going to tell that. I will introduce that cloud term later. Okay. So it's a cloud data warehouse which is running on the cloud. Okay. So as a data engineer, we might be working with data warehouses like Snowflake, Redshift, Google BigQuery, right? So Redshift is from Amazon, BigQuery is from Google, okay? Synapse is from Microsoft, okay? So multiple vendors are there in the market for data. So I'll tell you why Snowflake is becoming popular. And this data warehouse runs on a cloud, okay? And when it comes to cloud, there are three big vendors in the market: AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud Platform. Okay, so even your Snowflake can run on these three different clouds here. Okay, so I'll tell you what is cloud and why it came into picture. And as a data engineer, sometimes you may need to know some ETL tools. Okay, so like Informatica, Talent, Matillion. Right, in our session I'm going to discuss about Matillion. Okay, and also maybe you may be asked to do some reporting stuff also. So I'm listing all the you can't hear my voice, guys?
So we can hear you.
Okay. So reporting tools also you maybe need to work, but all are not mandatory, whatever I'm listing here. Okay. Depending on your project requirements, some people will ask you to work on reporting tools as well. So you have separate reporting tools like Power BI, Tableau also. Tableau, there are a lot of things in the market. Okay. So as a data engineer, maybe you'll be touching all these aspects here. Also some scripting language like Python, right? Also some scheduling tool like Airflow. Okay, so like this, the list will go on. The data engineering list will go on. But as a basic data engineer, you should know one data warehouse first and one cloud technology. Okay, so if you have these two things first, if you have added these two things to your stack, then you're good. So after that, you can learn everything else in the project. Okay, but nowadays, some people are making this Python as mandatory. As a data engineer, you should know basic programming, not an expert, but you should know basic programming. And you should know the basics of ETL also. Okay, so this reporting thing, and there will be a separate teams generally, but if you're working in small startups, they may be asked to work on this as well. Okay, right? So now you understood Snowflake is a data warehouse. Actually, it's a cloud data warehouse. Okay, any other question, guys?
No, can we manage the project with 2 years of experience? Or else can do like 3 years, like that?
Yes, because this Snowflake has become popular in the last 5 years. Okay, so even an expert cannot put more than 5 years of experience on Snowflake. So now the job market is open for like 2 years to 10, 11 years. I mean, total experience I'm talking about. Even you can put 2 years of Snowflake experience is good here. It's a moderate experience.
So the cloud,
which
one you're
sorry. Yeah.
After
the
getting
cloud
the job,
technology,
can we
which one you would be using? AWS or Azure?
I'm using AWS in this class.
Okay.
Because AWS entered the cloud market very early, and then they have captured 50% of the market. Slowly, Azure is also taking, but AWS is the most widely used cloud.
Yeah, just to give you a background, I mean, I have knowledge on Informatica, and I'm a report developer using Cognos. So
okay.
That's where I'm at. So I might be asking a lot of questions on the Power BI and Tableau things. We have in our project we use Tableau as well.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that means you have these two tools.
Yes.
These two tools you have here, right? I think you need to add the other things so that you can become a full stack engineer.
Will you be giving us a real-time project so that we can have a clear understanding, and when we do in an interview, we can explain it better?
Yes. So I'm going to explain some real-time project architectures, and I'll be giving some sample data to build a continuous data pipeline. Okay. So once we complete the data pipeline process, so I'll give you some sample files and ask you to build some pipeline and do some transformations, right? And I'll ask you to build some stored procedure code to do the transformations. Okay. So I'll show you some real-time examples as well, how we have automated the stuff using stored procedures, Python in our project.
Yep, that's all from ours.
In AWS, Redshift also is there, right? Why we can go for a Snowflake?
Sorry, in AWS, Redshift is also there, right? Yeah, you're right.
Cloud data warehouse, right?
All right. So yeah, there are some special features of Snowflake. I'll be telling that once I discuss the Snowflake architecture. I'll tell like why Snowflake is different from other data warehouses. Okay.
Thank you.
Can we get a expert calls after project in 2 years of experience?
Yes. I mean, your total experience is 2 years, or just on Snowflake you are keeping 2 years?
No, I want to enter into IT field.
Okay.
I do not have any experience.
2 years, 3 years is good experience actually.
But after getting into job, can we manage?
Yeah, that actually totally depends on you. Like, because see, I am trying to give all the real-time things in this session, and I have been training since last 3 years, and people are doing on their own. If they need some help, they'll be taking. But after 1 or 2 months, they're doing on their own. Okay. So you need to put efforts actually. That's the only thing.
Can we crack the interview by our own after attending
Yes,
this?
definitely. Because I suggest that you should crack the interviews on your own. Once completing this course, you should try that, because then what is the reason of joining the course generally? So people take some other ways, but I encourage you to take the interviews on your own. So I am going to show you how the interview process will be. What are the questions asked, the real-time questions, because I'm also in the interview panel generally. So I'll guide you there.
Okay.
Also, as someone with no experience, how much experience can I get from the training?
How much experience? Sorry, your voice is echoing.
Sorry. Yeah, how much experience can I put on my resume after the training?
Yeah, after the training, you can keep around three max. You can put four or five, because Snowflake itself become popular since last 5 or 6 years actually.
Okay.
Right. Anyone already working on Snowflake here in this group?
Yes, I'm working, Vinod.
Okay, cool. Since how many years you're working?
Since 2 years.
2 years, cool. Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Any just I wanted to understand the audience, because if you're not from the database background, my way of teaching will be different. So that's
Okay. So one more thing, do we need to learn SQL and PLSQL for this?
Yes, the SQL is mandatory, because any data engineering guy, if you want to survive in the market, right? So I would say this, SQL is mandatory. Okay. So for that, if you are not knowing SQL, I did around 7 to 8 hours of sessions on the SQL basics, like how to write the joins, how to use OLAP functions, what are the scenario based questions, how to break that problem into multiple sub problems. So I did that. So if you are not aware of SQL, just ping me. Then I am going to share these videos with you, and you can go through it. And you have some questions, maybe on a separate weekend we can set up one class for this basic SQL, and we can discuss. But I am saying
Python
SQL
is mandatory, right?
Sorry.
Python is mandatory for the Snowflake guy, right?
Actually, it was optional. If you ask me 6 months or 7 months back, it was optional. But nowadays, in every job description, people are testing your Python skill also. So that's the reason I'm saying you should learn Python as well.
And Airflow, how much deep you are going to cover the Airflow part?
See, in all the other parts, like Python is around 4 hours, Matillion 4 hours, Airflow is only 1 hour. Just I'm introducing the tool. You should know, because this is a scheduling tool.
So you are going to show one DAG, right? How to create that one DAG,
exactly,
right?
Exactly. How to create one DAG, and how I will insert the data into a Snowflake table using this Airflow scheduling tool. So that's what I'm going
So
to
basically, you are calling the Python here, right?
Exactly. So in Airflow, you use Python template to generate a DAG. So it's like coding. You'll use coding for scheduling. You don't have drag and drop mechanism here. Okay. So I'm trying to give 80% of the sessions will be on Snowflake. Remaining 20% I'm going to cover these past days. So it's not we are going to cover very deep into it, but just you'll get very good idea, and you can put that in your resume.
Snowflake is graphical representation or coding part?
No, Snowflake has coding, because it's a data warehouse. You need to write SQL queries, you need to write stored procedures, right? So there is some coding involved, but not like a application developer programming like Java, something like that. You'll be writing, very good amount of coding. People are expecting stored procedures also. So in stored procedures, you will be writing good amount of coding. Okay. So if you want, if you're not from coding background, if you feel that is difficult, generally you should go for ETL tools. So ETL tool is a drag and drop thing. So it very minimal coding you'll have here. Okay. Yeah. So let me go back here. and like I'm trying to integrate everything here. Okay, so we have seen any other question? Okay, so I was saying Snowflake is the data warehouse. First of all, it's a cloud data warehouse. Yeah. First of all, we are trying to understand what is a data warehouse, right? So generally, when you order some products in the Amazon, so that the current data, we call it as transactional data, we will be storing in some systems called OLTP systems, guys. Okay, what is OLTP system here is it's online transaction processing systems. Okay, so online transaction processing systems here. So what does this store here? So this stores the current transactions. Let's say I have ordered a product currently, so it will store the current transaction. Okay, and it stores the current inventory, like what products are available and all. So when it comes to OLTP systems, these are also databases, like I can say Postgres can be used as an OLTP system, or Oracle, or MySQL. So these are like OLTP systems, and these systems are designed for holding small volumes of data, and writing and reading are faster on those small volumes of data. Okay, so all the current data will be stored here. Now I need historical data, like when the data is getting older, I need this historical data for analysis purpose. So where I'll store that historical data? So that is where your data warehouse comes into picture. So you'll be moving all the old data. Okay, you will be moving that old data from your OLTP system to your data warehouse. Okay, so here the data warehouse systems are called OLAP systems, online analytical processing systems. Okay, so here we are considering Snowflake, right? So now the data will be moved from here to here. So how you are going to do that? How the data movement will happen? So that is where your ETL tool comes into picture. Okay, so that is where your ETL tools comes into picture. ETL means extract, transform, and load. Okay, so ETL can be a Matillion, or it can be Informatica, or Talent. Okay, so this ETL tool fits here generally in between your OLTP systems, your sources, and your target system like Snowflake. And the source system only cannot be a database here. It can be a SFTP server where the files are stored directly, or it can be coming from some IoT devices like sensors and all, or it can be from APIs. Like let's say I want to weather information, forecasting information. So they provide some APIs for that. So from multiple things, you will extract the data. You'll extract the data and put it in the data warehouse, and you need to, so the data that you are getting from source is called raw data actually. Okay, so in Snowflake, first you will store the data in the raw format. Okay, so first you will store the data in the raw format. We call it as raw data. So that is from your sources, right? So it is like what I say, when you have a lake, so you'll get the raw water from rain and from different sources, and after that you will use that water for agriculture purpose or drinking water purpose or multiple things. So you need to curate that data, so that drinking water or agriculture water will become your curated data here. So this curated data will be used by your maybe data scientists or visualization engineers like Power BI or Tableau people. Okay, so as a data engineer, so what is your responsibility? So your responsibility is this: as a data engineer, generally I'm talking about overall thing, sorry, you may need to extract the data from sources, you may need to transform the data and load it. So this part, this big box, should be taken care by your data engineers. Okay, in some of the big organizations you will be dealing only with here. Okay, you will be not dealing with, there will be a separate team for ETL, there will be a separate team for data warehouse, but in small organizations you may need to take care of ETL also. Okay, right? So this is the overall architecture of a data warehouse. So what is a cloud, that what is a data warehouse, and what is our responsibility, right? So this is the architecture, guys. So any questions here till here?
It will accept stored procedures, Vinod?
Yes, we have stored procedures, and you can write the stored procedures in multiple languages like JavaScript, and you can write it in SQL. You have multiple languages, Python also.
Yeah, previous it's not accept, right?
Previously, SQL stored procedures are not implemented. Just 2 months back, they have introduced the SQL-based stored procedure. Previously, we were writing the code in the JavaScript. Now it is
JavaScript.
Now it is available to the customers.
OLTP databases it will accept in Snowflake.
No. OLTP systems are separate. So you need to extract the data from OLTP systems and put it in Snowflake.
Okay. Thank you.
So in this one, where does cloud come in? So
Exactly.
Snowflake is the cloud thing.
Right. So two things actually. So Snowflake, to install this database generally, okay. To install this database generally, what we used to do, we used to have our own servers. We used to have install the database, upgrade the database, right? So if it is a legacy data warehouse, that is the process. But Snowflake is a cloud data warehouse. So you don't need to install this database on your own machine. So that's where your cloud comes into picture. So you can host it on AWS, you can host it on Azure, you can host it on Google Cloud. And so you don't need to install the software, you don't need to spin up the servers here. Okay, so everything will be taken care by those people, cloud people, right? So this is where like you'll spin up your cloud data warehouse, Snowflake data warehouse on one of the clouds here. So it will be running on their data centers. Okay, and you don't need to install the software and all here. Okay, and one more thing. So this is one cloud, like where the Snowflake data warehouse is running. And other thing is to stage your data generally, to stage the data from different sources. First, you'll stage the data in temporary storage. So that is where you use cloud. Okay, for Amazon S3, we have a service called, sorry, for AWS, we have a service called S3. So from different source systems, you'll get the data and first you'll put it in the S3 storage. So this is your cloud storage. And from there, you'll take it into Snowflake. You don't take it directly into Snowflake. So this is a temporary storage where you collect all your raw data and then you will store the data into Snowflake. So here you'll be using the cloud service actually. So this is exactly where you need to know how this S3 can talk to Snowflake. So we are going to discuss that in the data ingestion process. Okay. So first of all, your Snowflake will run on some cloud. This is not visible to us. Okay. So it is running on some cloud. Just you will spin up the database, you'll use it. But when you extract the data from different sources to store the data temporarily, you will use this S3, Amazon S3 here. Okay. This is where you need to know some basics about the clouds here. Got it?
We know if source data come in petabyte steps, then how like these OLTP operations will support?
See, so your like regular transaction data will not be that huge, okay? But after accumulating, it will become petabytes. After it becomes historical, so it becomes very huge. But these systems are also have the capability to store petabytes of data, but reading is very slow because these are not parallel systems. Generally, the Snowflake is a MPP system, massively parallel processing system. But here in these systems, these are not parallel systems. So the performance will degrade here if your data is in petabytes here. Okay. So generally, that's the reason we designed a data warehouse to store huge volumes of data and do some analytics. Got it?
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So as a data engineer, your responsibility is extract the data, put it in some stage area, load it into Snowflake and do some transformations. Let's say when I'm saying about transformation, I'm getting the sales data, I'm getting day level, but this reporting guy wanted year level or month level or quarter level. So I will aggregate that data at month level, year level and quarter level and give it to him directly. He will show it there. But this data scientist, let's say this data scientist want the data in different format. So that transforming your data, right? So that is done by your data engineers.
So once we load the data into this Snowflake data warehouse system, cloud data warehouse system, so we basically do perform some the SQL as well as the PL SQL stored procedures are all these things. So we can modify according to the requirement, right? So then after that, what is the next step? I mean, like why we modify the data in the Snowflake data warehouse a cloud system?
right? So that is what your transformation. So you're modifying the data means you're modifying the source data means you're transforming the data, and this data is called modeled or curated data, which will be used by your visualization engineer or your data scientist. So for them, so our consumers are these two people. So for them, according to their requirement, we are doing that.
So it means we integrated this data into again like some reporting tools, Tableau, like Power BI, like that. So that is your meaning,
Exactly.
right?
That is one application. The other application is data scientist.
Okay,
Data
so
science
this
calculation.
Snowflake will support data marts also.
Yes. You can create different schemas. So you can create logically separate the model data. So you can do that with schemas. So we are going to discuss that.
Sure, thanks.
Any other questions, guys? Right. So now you understood what is Snowflake. It's a cloud data warehouse. So you have two words there, data warehouse and cloud. So now you understood what is the data warehouse, what is the cloud, right? So now let us go back and understand what is the architecture of Snowflake. Okay. So let us go back. So let us discuss cloud architecture. So I listed out like general OLTP systems, OLAP systems here. So you can see here Redshift, BigQuery are the OLAP systems, and these are the regular OLTP systems. And yeah, coming to Snowflake MPP architecture, massively parallel processing architecture. Okay, so now it has 3 layers, guys. Okay, Snowflake architecture has 3 layers. So if you see the diagram here, this is the first layer called cloud services layer. Okay, so what is this cloud services layer? Let us try to understand. Cloud services layer. So this layer is responsible for checking the syntax of your query. So I'll directly go into the Snowflake user interface, which I have created already. Okay, we are going to create a trial account, but just I wanted to show you. Or what I will do is first let us create the trial account, so that will be easy for us to understand, because otherwise you'll see so many questions. Okay, so let us try to create a Snowflake trial account. Okay, so I'll show you how to create a trial account very easily, like using the Snowflake trial. So see here, just go to Google. Okay, Snowflake trial. So you don't need to install any software. You don't need to maintain a big hardware in your machines, like in your laptops. You don't need to have a big RAMs and all. Just go to Snowflake trial. So see here, Snowflake is providing 30-day free trial account, guys. Okay, and once this 30-day free trial is expired, you may also create another account with the same Gmail ID. Okay, no need to use another Gmail ID also. So they are not checking your Gmail IDs, duplicate Gmail IDs. Okay, and actually they are providing 30-day free trial account. Also they are giving you $400. Okay, and you are running some queries and you are exhausting this $400 within 15 days, your account will be expired. And let's say you have some dollars, but your 30-day time is expired, so your account will be expired. So whichever happens earlier, so that will be considered here. Okay, so now to create a Snowflake trial account, simply you need to fill these details, right? So I need to give my Gmail ID for that. Use some company, and yeah, now just click on continue here. Okay, see here, it is asking for choose the Snowflake edition you want to use. So there are 3 editions actually: standard, enterprise, and business critical edition. So what are these editions? So depending on the edition, you will get some features and you'll not get some features. So if you choose standard, it's very basic version. So it is like when you're buying a car, you'll have some variants, right? So depending on the variant, you will get some features. Same way, Snowflake is offering different versions of Snowflake software. So standard, enterprise, and business critical. We are going to discuss what are these editions later. Okay, but choose enterprise. This is enough for us to complete this training. Okay, so standard is very basic support you have. In enterprise, you have other support like time travel, multi-cluster warehouses, materialized views, and all. Business critical has more security. Okay, so you can choose any of the Snowflake edition here. And next, the second step is you need to choose the cloud here. So I was saying in this particular diagram, your Snowflake will run on a cloud, right? AWS, Azure, or GCP, right? So now I can choose any cloud here. So I'm choosing AWS. So whenever you choose the cloud, generally you need to choose the data center. So I am in India, so it is like Asia Pacific. Okay, so automatically it is chosen as Singapore. This is the nearest data center maybe. So you can keep as it is and then click on get started here and just check this box. Click on get started. Okay, so you will receive an email saying like your account with your account URL. Okay, so like this, you are now signed up. An email is sent to activate your account ID. So just go to your email here. So you'll receive some email and see how easy it is. Like it has taken 1 minute for me to create a Snowflake account, only 1 minute. But when I remember like to install Oracle in my old college days, we used to spend 1 hour of time. Now it has become very easy because of this cloud. So that is the beauty of the cloud. So they will take care of software installation and all. Okay. So we will see.
Vinod, in real time, we can create this and all things, or how?
Actually, these things are set up already. I mean, you don't create these accounts, but the
It
application
can
set up.
spam
How
also.
they will?
It could be in spam, right? You're right. Yeah, it has come. Yeah, so you'll get like activate your Snowflake account. Okay, so click on here. Just click to activate, and you set up initial username and password here. Okay. Again, it is asking for re-entering the username and password. So I set my username and password here. Okay, so here this is the user interface, guys. Snowflake user interface. Okay, now if I want to run some query, I need to open a worksheet here. So go to worksheet. So it's a session. Click on this plus symbol and see here. I can write some query here. So select star from some table. So let us. We have already some tables created. So you'll get some sample data here. So some call center data and all. So now I am running this query. See, select star from this particular table. So if I run this query, now you'll see the result here. Okay, so we are going to do a walkthrough on this user interface. Okay.
Just a second. You clicked on the results. How did you execute the query?
Yeah, sorry. Just highlight it, press Control Enter, or you can click on this run button. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
If you click on this run button, it will compile it. Okay. So actually, this is the new user interface. Just 2 months back, they have changed it and they have added a lot of things here. And they have given some statistics also at the right hand side, like what is the minimum value of each column and maximum value of each column. What is the frequency and from the right hand side. So we are going to do a walkthrough on the user interface, but this is the way to create a Snowflake trial account base. Okay. So any questions here?
Can you show web UI console?
This is the web UI console.
Other one, web UI completely different is there.
Okay, that is the classic console. Okay, so you might be having, you are already working, so you might be knowing. So when I click on home symbol, so you have an option to go to classic console. This is the old way. Okay, this is the old console. Actually, you will be relate with that because even I worked with classic console. I am familiar with that. Okay, so both are web UIs only. Both are on browser based UIs, but this is the classic console, and that is the new user interface. So this is the old one, right? This is one you are asking.
This is the old one, correct?
Yes. So this is the new one. They have updated a lot of things here. So here they are
In,
not showing
in,
some
in,
models.
in the new one, how to build the dashboard and all that?
Sorry.
In the new web UI, right? I saw that we can build our dashboard and all that. There are
Yeah. That feature is coming actually. I think still that is in preview. They are saying I think it's snow site or something else. But yeah, that is in the plan actually.
It's no site only, right?
Yeah, snow site.
Okay.
Okay, and that is in the plan. I think that is still in the preview, and they are trying to make everything together, like reporting in Snowflake, and there is you might be knowing Spark, right? You can run Spark code as Snowflake. They came up with this feature called Snowpark. So they are calling this as a data cloud, so where you can do all the stuff here. Okay, so lot of developments are happening on Snowflake. Lot of new features are getting released.
Are we going to cover the Snowpark?
No, Snowpark is completely different course because it's related to Spark coding. You need to know very good understanding of Python scripting and multi-node computing and all. So that is a complete different thing. So you should be aware of Spark for that course part.
Okay.
So very
We know
rarely,
in real time how we can access this web AI.
Same, like they will be providing your URL and username and password.
Okay, we can go to connect a region, right? We can connect AP Mumbai or which one? For suppose my client will be USA, how we can connect?
See, there is no restriction that where you host. See, when you create the account, you'll choose the data center there. So when I'm creating the account, I have chosen Singapore, right? So let's say your client is in USA. Generally, they try to use the nearest center, and even if you're in India, you can access that, not a problem. So you can access the other data center which is in US. From here, you can also access it. There is no restriction, like you should be in the same region.
In India, we have Mumbai, right? We can access this one only, or we can access USA, that one only. I'm asking that one.
While creating the account, if you have chosen Mumbai, you can access that. So while creating the Snowflake account, you have chosen US, then it will go there.
We can connect to different means. Is there any cost like that? I'm asking.
No cost for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
thank you.
Yeah. Clear, guys? Any other questions?
So in real time, what kind of users or roles we will be getting?
Okay, what kind of users? You mean say Snowflake users and these
Yes,
roles you're asking?
yeah, like user, public.
Okay, yeah. So I think you have some idea because maybe
Yes.
everyone else don't know that. So generally, you'll be creating developer roles, custom roles I'm talking about. You'll be creating
Yes.
developer roles. You'll be creating a role for testing people. You'll be creating for user interface people. You'll be creating for data scientists, right? So you'll be creating different roles on their responsibilities generally. Or you may be creating for ETL job, you will be creating some different role. ETL job running from Matillion, or for Airflow, you'll be creating a different role, right? So like that, you'll create different roles. Okay.
We know one more.
That, yeah, please.
What is the roles and responsibilities in Snowflake developer in real time?
Actually, in real time, your responsibility is ingest the data ingestion part. I told you, like from different sources you'll get the data, right? So your responsibility will be in data ingestion. I think I have closed it. Okay. So yeah, ingesting the data from different sources, like from S3. I mean, you'll be getting the data from different sources. You need to ingest the data first, okay, and then you need to build a data pipeline here, okay, and you need to do the transformations, write the stored procedures, scheduling through tasks. You need to write the functions, okay, and sometimes you may need to do a data sharing. There are some other features like data sharing, cloning, and time travel. So you may need to do you may need to debug the data issues, okay. You may need to tune the performance of the query if it is taking long time, right? So all this stuff we are going to do.
So when you say ingesting data means we will be doing ETL work also, or we need to know like ADF or some other talent methods?
Actually, if you know that, Matillion is such tool actually. If you know that, that is good. But generally, in big organizations, you are not you are not involved there. You'll get the data from Matillion or Talent. You'll get the data into S3 first, or your cloud storage first. From there, our work will start as a especially Snowflake data engineer. From S3 to Snowflake, and from there, your work will start.
So we can pull the data from S3 to Snowflake using Snowflake features.
Exactly.
We don't need any other tools.
You don't need any other tools. We have bulk loading, Snowpipe. There are different techniques to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So if someone says like only learn Snowflake and go into the market, don't believe guys, because now the market has changed. So you need to know some extra tools also to add into your resume.
And the SQL syntax is like the normal SQL, right? Or
Because it follow ANSI standard, so you'll be seeing the same syntax like your Oracle or Teradata.
okay.
You won't find very much difficult. 99% it will match.
Okay. So you would have stored procedures and all that as well.
Yes, yes. Actually, one variation in stored procedure is they introduced the stored procedure in JavaScript language actually. So that is like way different from other databases. But recently they have added the SQL stored procedure support.
Okay.
So that is in line with your other databases.
It is in the preview phase, right? Not in the production. We can do that.
It came into general availability 1 month back. So even we thought it is in preview phase. In our current project, when we have seen, we realized that it went into GA, customer availability, and people are using it now.
So in the production, we can use it, right?
Now you can use it, yes.
Okay.
1 month back they have added. Now in our current project also, we are trying to do that. We are trying to use the SQL stored procedure.
In weekly once they will upgrade, right? How it will,
Yeah,
you can manually do, or how it will be?
no, that happens in the background only in their data centers. We don't even know, but you'll get an email to the administrator. They'll get an email.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, guys, I'll stop it here today. Tomorrow is fine for you to continue the session, guys. Okay. So let me discuss with Prakash, and I'll let you know tomorrow whether we have session or not. I think it's better to continue so that we'll continue the momentum. And yeah, generally we'll start the regular sessions from Monday. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Vinod.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Vinod.
you.
Thank you.